Jesse, thanks for coming in and talking today.
Thanks for having me.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
We've been working together for a couple years since you became the mayor of West Lafayette. But I mean, what you're doing is just amazing down there. So, and then you gave me a nice endorsement, and I appreciate that. But I really wanted people to hear your story about what you're doing in West Lafayette, how you got to this place, and what your plans are for the village of Lafayette, and maybe later on for the whole county. You know, so let's talk about your background a little bit. You grew up here in Plainfield.
Sure. My mom and dad have a farm just outside of West Lafayette. I went to Plainfield Elementary. I actually live in the house that my grandpa was born in and my great-grandpa was raised in. My dad bought it back to the family at a sheriff's sale, and I moved back home, and it just was perfect timing. My mom and dad live in the house that she grew up in. My brother lives in the house that my dad's mom grew up, or my dad grew up in. So we all stayed right here with the exception of my sister, who lives in California. She joined the Coast Guard and traveled around.
So you're all around the Plainfield, West Lafayette area?
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
great.
And we've been here for decades. So.
Yeah, really? That's right.
It's been
so
great.
You've seen a lot of changes in the county from when you grew up to where you are now. Do you have any observations in general of what you've seen in the county? Changes that positive or negative in that regard?
We watched all of the big businesses kind of close, and everybody kind of took different paths. So we've seen an industry change, definitely. West Lafayette's always kind of been more of a bedroom community, so it's not had a huge amount of industry. I mean, we do have some great ones, Jones Metal, Yankee Wire. So we do have some tremendous businesses, but as a whole, most of the people that live in West Lafayette don't work there. Most of them drive to Pearl, or my husband drives to Newark every day. So we're a phenomenal bedroom type facility. Everybody comes home, they have a great place to walk their dog, and the school district is top tier.
It is. It really is, isn't it?
Area, so.
Yeah, and I'm amazed that they send out those state report cards. Ridgewood is top in every area, just
right,
about.
Right, and we test well. So our kids go through the STAR testing like everybody else, and we have phenomenal athletic programs. We have a phenomenal ag program, or music and drama, which is what my daughter's involved in. Excellent as well. So.
I understand there's lots of kids trying to open enroll into Ridgewood, and they're almost filled up, and you can't accept any more students.
So
is that right?
There are several age groups that are not accepting any outside students. So if you don't live in the district, there's a chance that you won't get to come. So.
Because one conversation you and I had was about, hey, we'd like to see some new houses go into the West Lafayette area, and I think you said, well, where are they going to go to school? Because the school's almost full.
Right. So one of the things that we've talked about was if we do have another subdivision be built, we have to make sure the school is ready for those kids. So if we have an influx of 10 kids per class, that's going to outgrow our classrooms. And we don't want to stress Ridgewood out. We want them to be able to grow at the same level that we do. So working with the school has been phenomenal. Maz has been great to work with on a community collaboration type things. We want to make sure they're ready for the growth too. So.
Okay. Well, so you grew up in the Plainfield area, went to Ridgewood, went off to college for a few years, and then came back with some kids in tow.
Yep.
Right? And now you've made your home back in West Lafayette.
Right.
What made you want to be the mayor?
So I've always been somebody that you don't just sit back and complain about it. So if you want to make a difference and you don't like the way something's going, you have to step in and be willing to give up your time and your energy. So I didn't like the direction of deferred maintenance, and we weren't moving forward at the same pace as other communities of our size. So I wanted to step in and fix some of those things. So the major part for me was I didn't enjoy the lack of effort of the stormwater issues.
Right.
So our low-income housing, the mills, it flooded in 2019. It flooded again 2 years ago. And it flooded again 2 years ago a second time. So I don't want those families to have to move every time we have a heavy rain.
Right.
And it didn't feel like anything was being done. So when I stepped in, that was one of the things on my list to check off. Stormwater remediation. So that's been a major focus for us.
Where is that now? I know you guys have done some things. And I think you told me you have some grants pending right now.
Right.
To be able to do more. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
So at Mayor's Partnership, which is a great organization that I joined, they had some funding and they gave us $10,000 to do a really basic stormwater study. And then that project rolled into a secondary stormwater study. Then we got money through a Thriving Communities grant to do a GIS mapping and another stormwater study inside the village to make sure that our infrastructure was big enough, or where we had lacks or a hole or didn't have a connection, so that we wouldn't overwhelm our own system by bringing more water through that to the river.
Okay.
So we have one group of engineers working on detention ponds and where those should be located and what that should look like. We have another group of engineers saying, this is what you already have, this is where your holes are, these are where you need to focus. And then we just finished up the GIS mapping. So that will roll into the next, saying, okay, so let's put this model with this model and merge that and see what that looks like.
Wow.
And then we'll see where we are in June.
What a study.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal to learn all of these moving parts and not just know that your idea versus my idea versus the farmer's idea, because a lot of times people think, oh, you're just cutting through a farmer's field. But when you cut through a farmer's field, you are taking away years of that crop growth.
That's
because
right.
Even if you're very careful putting that back, it's not the same as it was before we disrupted it.
That's right.
So we can't just say, oh, we're just cutting through a soybean field. It's not just a soybean field, that's someone's livelihood.
Yeah.
So cutting through someone's front yard where we can cover that hole up with a sidewalk is probably more economically feasible long term.
Well, I helped out back in 2019 when we had the first flood. I mean, that was just amazing. The water that was in Lafayette and the city, and so many homes and people were affected by that. And I gotta imagine that as people hear about what you guys are doing right now, working with that, they've got to be really appreciative of what's happening and looking for some finality really to solve that forever, really.
I think the people that were directly impacted are definitely looking for answers. So I think they are on the right path. The biggest thing from the flood for me, though, wasn't the devastation. It was how the entire community
Wasn't that amazing?
pulled together.
That was
we
amazing.
were all digging each other's basements out. Everyone was
yeah.
taking care of each other. And it wasn't your yard against my yard. It was everybody taking care of everyone. And that's what makes West Lafayette a wonderful community.
I even saw people from out of the area come in and say, hey, where can we help? You know, just walk down the street, and does this family need help or whatever?
Right.
And people from the school just offered every kind of resource they had available.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it was amazing. But so are we ready for a heavy flood this spring?
No.
Not yet.
No, and I'm very thankful that this is snow and not rain with a solid frozen ground, because where would this water have gone? So.
Well, you know, one of the things that impressed me when I was down at your office, Jessie, you have a big whiteboard behind your desk there, and it is loaded full of projects and issues and ideas and stuff like that. I mean, you are not just focused on water. I think you've got all kinds of other things on your plate that you're looking at, right?
Right. So we've also learned in the last 2 years that it's better to stack projects to make your money go farther. So if we're going to do a sidewalk on Russell Avenue, instead of just doing a sidewalk on Russell Avenue with our 203 fund, which is our tax revenue fund, we can use that 203 fund tax revenue as a match for OPWC storm drains, which is a match for something else. So we stack these projects and revitalize a whole neighborhood with a complete makeover. It makes our money go farther.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a much better impact. So on Safe Routes to School, OPWC gave us money to put in storm drains. So there's going to be storm basins on 5th, 6th, and 7th Street, which is where our water stands in our roads. And then it won't negatively impact the sidewalks that are going to go in as well.
Yeah.
And then we're going to pave 5th, 6th, and 7th. So it'll be storm drains, sidewalks, roads, and then the grindings from the roads are going to go in the alleys.
Okay.
So instead of just doing one project, we're making one project a multi-level project.
So roads, drainage, sidewalks. I think you've got some ideas about the ball field park out there as well.
Right. So the Ridgewood Rec is working on building a Pony League size field. They've raised several $1,000, and we're trying to help them by using their money to make match money for their own project.
Sure.
So we haven't been successful yet, but the more times you apply, the better chances you have. So.
And isn't that interesting? I find it amazing in Coshocton County, these foundations that are all available that you can go to, you know, and when my kids were coming up through, we built some ball fields and fences, replaced fences and all that kind of stuff. And they were, I mean, there's a process to go through to get those funds, but they were very generous with those funds.
They were phenomenal. So
Yeah.
the Coshocton Foundation has been very helpful. They've actually given our police department they gave the village flashing stop signs because we had trouble with people running the stop sign. Because it was a traffic light at one point. So change is hard. So those flashing stop signs, you can see them from the edge of town almost. So that has been helpful. There was a grant that our police chief applied for that says your speed is. So we put it at the school for a couple of weeks. We put it on 4th Street for a couple of weeks, and it can move around. Because a lot of times people don't realize how fast they're going.
Oh yeah.
Because they just get in the moment and they're driving it.
Yeah. I've had my interactions with your policemen, and it's been very professional and good, and you know, they're not over the top, strict, they're understanding, but you get the message. You know?
Yeah.
We want you to go slow in town.
Yeah.
A lot of kids running around. You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of kids on bikes.
Right.
A lot of kids on scooters. A lot of kids walking and playing on their phones. So.
Yeah. Well, you have some great ideas for making West Lafayette a better place. I mean, if I think 5-10 years down the road, if some of these things get finished, you get your water projects done, if some of these housing development ideas that are being talked about right now get done, West Lafayette, I mean, what about the business community of West Lafayette? Is there any new things happening there?
There is only one empty, well, I take that back. There are 2 empty buildings. So Bob Nelson has a building that's for rent. So if you want to start a business, Bob Nelson has a space, and Quality Brake and Tire is for sale.
Okay.
All of the other business spaces are filled
Okay.
with small businesses, dog grooming, nails. There's a spa where you can get a head spa, which is phenomenal. The coffee shop, which I go to every day.
Yeah, the bakery's
great. So, I mean, we have all of our businesses filled with the exception of those 2, which is pretty great.
Has the new bank been a plus?
The new bank is beautiful.
It is, isn't it?
It looks like it's always been there, and it was just this ugly raised lot for as long as I can remember, and now it looks like it's been there forever.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
We're very thankful for them. They've also been a phenomenal neighbor. So they've pitched in when we've had cool-off days. They've donated water, and they come over and give us this giant cooler that says Baltic Bank, so we don't have to carry stuff all over the place. They've been wonderful to our community. Home Loan has stepped up and helped out with the Christmas parade, handed out beanies, and I mean, they participated in a lot of stuff. So we do have phenomenal partners. Home Loan, Baltic, Jones Metal, Pearl Valley. So.
You didn't mention Prescott Murders.
Oh, nobody cares about that. That guy's weird.
Your bake shop?
Yeah.
Oh,
So my 14-year-old daughter, when she was 12, she was like, I need money. I want to buy bubble tea at the general store, because the general store was still big then. And we're like, he kept saying, if you're asking for this much money, you need to get a job. And she's like, nobody's going to hire me. I can't babysit. I'm so small, because she's a very small 12-year-old girl. And he's like, fine, we'll just start a bait shop. And my older girls have teased her because she has freckles. So she's Freckle-Faced Frederick. Now, so she's been Fred all along. So Audrey's name is Fred. So he said, we'll start a bait shop and we'll call it Fred's Got Worms, because you're small. So it kind of stuck.
Well, let's do a little piece on Fred's Got Worms. Okay. She'll love it,
It's
and
an
people will love it,
entrepreneur.
right?
Yeah, you should just invite her. She'll talk to you. She's the princess or the queen of West Lafayette right now. She talks more than I do, which is amazing because I talk a lot and I talk fast. So it's genetic. But she sells catfish bait. She sells T-shirts. She sells bobbers for any giveaway things. She puts together a snackle box, which is really a tackle box with gummy worms and sea salt chips and whatever. So.
When's she open? Weekends?
And weekends and in the summer.
Yeah, not now.
Not now.
No.
We don't have that many ice fishermen. So.
No, heck no. That's great.
Well, and she's had a good time with it. She's kind of phased out this year because she's involved in drama and band and golf, and so
She a senior?
she's a freshman.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
She also has no off button.
No off button.
Yeah, like your one.
Okay.
she's involved as much as she can squeeze into her schedule.
So if she's involved, you're involved.
Yeah, so we're in music boosters and golf boosters and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So I
And
feel like-
mayor, and
mayor.
doing engineering projects
Yeah,
and
it's
everything
fine.
else.
It's fine. It
You're doing
keeps
great.
keeps me moving. So.
And it's so good that the mayor's position pays such a high salary,
All
right?
$7,000.
$7,000 to be the
Yeah.
mayor of West Lafayette.
I
Can
quit
you
my
imagine
job
that?
to do that because I'm only doing one term. So that's the other thing.
Oh.
I really do think that sometimes people get into these positions and then they're working on their next election. I'm not running again. So I'm doing what's right, not what will get me reelected. So
Yeah,
I think that's a major thing too.
we'll get them done.
Yeah, because I'm only going to be here for a minute.
Yeah, if somebody else comes in and
Yeah.
drops the ball, all these projects will get stopped.
No, I think there's enough momentum that it's moving in a positive direction. So as long as the whole staff doesn't leave, I think it'll continue in
Yeah.
that direction.
Yeah.
And I really think the county's going to pick up this project once I get to that line, because this has been a problem since 1947.
Oh, yeah.
So if you were the commissioners and you were going to solve the Kirk drain, I mean, why wouldn't you take that? And I don't care who gets credit, as long as it gets fixed. So if I can get it to the finish line and then hand the ball off, and somebody else gets gold stars, good. I don't care.
Solve the problem.
Just make sure the ditches go in and the water goes to the river, so it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's not just a problem in West Lafayette. Oxford Township has the same thing. So the Portrait Addition comes down a hill,
Yeah.
and then it's a little bit lower, and then it comes up to County Road 9. So when all that water runs off that hill, it fills up because there's no ditches there.
Yeah, right.
It's crazy.
Let's expand it out just a little bit to the whole county. You know, the Conesville Industrial Park is kind of on the other end of the county from West Lafayette. But, I mean, you've said before, West Lafayette is a residential community.
Mm-hmm.
So people from West Lafayette are commuting all the way to even into Columbus, that far, right?
Correct.
And I know some other tradesmen who are working on some of the big projects down around New Albany commuting in. So, you know, as you look at the possibility of more businesses and manufacturing coming into the area, do you see that as a plus for West Lafayette?
I think it is going to be a plus for West Lafayette. We're going to have an additional group of people move into the area, so that will be phenomenal as well.
Yeah.
So I do expect Coshocton County to grow
Yeah.
as a whole.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting.
I do too. I mean, one of the things that I'm hoping to do if I'm successful in this commissioner's run is to try to make Coshocton County a place that's a real positive investment climate. And I say investment for businesses and industry, for housing developers, for residential family housing, not necessarily government housing, but residential neighborhoods where people can raise their kids and have nice neighborhoods and backyards and stuff like that, you know. But I think it takes a climate, and that's what I'm hoping to do, is to make this an investment climate. And West Lafayette won't be the place for a data center, but it very well may be a good place for a subdivision like you're talking about,
Right.
a cul-de-sac with some homes on it, right?
Yeah, that is perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. So.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, I think you're headed in the right path, and I hope if I'm successful in doing this, we can work together for many years down the road.
I think no matter what, we're going to work together for
Well,
many
that's
years
right. We have
down the
another,
road,
another thing going, right?
So that's exciting. I'm excited for you to be running just because I need some people that see all of the things that we go through on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
So having you on our side of the county makes a huge difference. Not because the other commissioners haven't been, but it's not easy to focus on something that you don't see it day to day. So they don't drive by the swamp when it's overflowing. And that's
Right.
what we've been calling the wetlands when it overflows, the swamp. They don't see all of the drainage issues that we have because they're not over there every day.
Yeah.
So unless we call during a terrible rain, they don't see it because it's not in their backyard. So
That's
I
right.
do feel like having a voice from the Ridgewood District will be tremendous for
Yeah.
our side of the county.
Jesse, you're doing a great job. I think you've got a good team of people down there. I know some of them, and they seem like they're pulling together in the right direction. So, yeah, I think you guys are going to do good stuff in West Lafayette, and hopefully I can work with you.
Yeah, well, we look forward to it.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay.
Coshocton County, I appreciate so much what you've been able to do for us at Pearl Valley Cheese. The years and years of support. the involvement in our business. All that stuff has allowed us to achieve a level of success that you couldn't imagine for a small company in this county. But we do appreciate it, and I gotta tell you, I am gonna bring that same work ethic, that same desire to succeed to my job as County Commissioner. I do need your support. Please come out and vote for me on May 5th.